Hello, it's Hayley again. This is my 18-month update video. In this video, which is also coincides with Christmas, I'm going to be doing some content today which are both about my transition, about my family life as well. Those of you that have followed me in the last month or so will know that my dad was diagnosed with terminal cancer. One of my little sisters put up a GoFundMe page or a Just Give page. The outpouring of support on there has been amazing. We did reach our goal. I know a lot of you donated anonymously as well, and I really do appreciate you taking the time and effort to do that. Anyone who has followed me and has shared or donated, I can't thank you enough. I've seen so many names on there that I recognise, and it was really nice of you all to come out and support my family like that at what is a very difficult time. We will do exactly what we promised for him, and we'll get those things sorted for him as soon as we can. Again, thank you very much. I'll insert a video and some pictures of when we unveiled the fundraising to him and his reaction to that. It really was wonderful, and I can't thank you all enough for your support. This video will also contain an update about my life and the 18 months since I started transition, what's gone on. I must add that I suppose it's 18 months since I started medically transitioning, which is more accurate. And basically, if you followed my videos so far on hormones and everything else, then you already know what's going on with me and what's happening.
So people have kindly raised on here £2,533. So
God!
if you would like to go on a helicopter ride, if you would like to go to see the Northern Lights.
Remember when I went to the air show?
Yeah, you're quite right, yeah.
Up in a helicopter on a coastal ride. You could do that, we get you.
It's fantastic.
So all those dreams you had, you can still do them. And that's just the people that donated via the Just Giving page. We also had a chat to your work and asked if they wouldn't mind doing a collection, and they definitely outraised £970. So yeah, we've got some planning to do.
Certainly have. 61 people have raised £2,533.
Yes, some people were
Wow!
incredible. Well, they've all been incredible, but some
Oh wow! I don't think I deserve that much.
You do.
You do.
You do.
You've done everything.
Right.
It's your wishes and you should have them. You deserve it.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Thank you all. Yeah.
Merry Christmas, darling. Just proves how many nice people there are in the world. Deserve it. You really do.
Such a lucky fella. Thank you all.
In terms of not just the results from the HRT, but what's actually happening with my transition, because of the news to do with my dad, I'm obviously trying to free up as much money as possible in the immediate future to make his life as comfortable as possible, etc., and help out with family bills and things like that. So I invested in buying myself a 6-pack of laser hair removal. It works out slightly cheaper, it saves you 10-15% discount, and so I got 6 sessions going forward for £1,028, which, as I say, is a discount of 10 to 15% over what I'd normally pay. it just means that in the next 6 months at least, or 6 to 7 months really, I don't really have to find the money for that because it's obviously prepaid now for a while. I've just got to pay it off the credit card instead. Going forward into next year, hopefully I'll be hearing from the gender clinic in the next, I don't know, immediate future. I've been waiting for 17 months now, and when I spoke to them about 3-4 months ago, whenever that was in one of my videos, I think it was for my 15th or 14th month update, they said I had about 6 months to go, so I should be hearing from them February, March time. Obviously I'll have to see how that fits in around the dad situation, and trying to make sure that, you know, I can swan off to Daventry to the gender clinic and not leave him or my family in a poor situation in terms of getting about and travel and that, as I'm the only driver available at the moment. I can't be racing off and leaving them without transport, but we'll figure it out, we'll make it work. So I'll be seeing them and hopefully finding out what they can actually do for me and what services are available through the gender clinic for me moving forward. Last video I said I was going to be coming out to family members. I did do that. It wasn't face to face like I'd wanted and had always planned originally. I had to do it via phone, but that was, my hand was forced by the news to do with my dad. So with that, basically I made some calls and let them know what was going on. They were very good about it. They said they'd be understanding and supportive as best as possible, and that's really nice, that they didn't see me any differently and things like that, which was well-meaning but not quite the right phrase, but I know what they mean. You know, they don't see me as any less, I think is what they were trying to say, rather than they don't see me any differently. It will take them a while to adjust, and I fully expect that. We got lots of family interactions coming up in the immediate future, so I guess we'll see how those goes. Another facet of my transition that's winding up, I suppose, now is my voice training. I'm still not really happy where it is. It's certainly feminised, but not what I'd call feminine, so I'm not really happy with the results. She asked me at my latest session what I thought about it. I told her I felt it was a 6 out of 10, in the sense that it has changed a lot since I initially started, but it's still not what I'd call a feminine voice. She asked me what areas I feel I needed to work on, and then we're breaking them down into smaller groups. So for the next month I'm just working on trying to, which I haven't been doing as usual, trying to add inflection and exaggeration into things and get more range in how I speak, rather than just talking in a flat tone the whole way through. Whether that tone's feminised or not, it doesn't matter if you just talk in one constant tone, because it doesn't sound right. So I need to work on actually undulating, articulating my voice, going up and down for certain words and things like that. So that's my job for the next month, is just using my voice more and more, trying to make sure that I'm using it as much as possible, and trying to really naturalise what she's taught me, and get it so that it's second nature, rather than something I have to consciously think about all the time. I find it to be quite draining, to be honest. Some people take to it like a duck to water, but I struggle with it quite a lot, trying to constantly think about what I'm doing and what I'm saying and how I'm doing it and how I'm saying it. As far as the voice training, it is quite tiresome. So hopefully I can just learn to make everything a lot more natural and bring it all together. I think I've got about 3 sessions left, and they're going to be spread over the next 3 months. So I will have had, by the time all's well and said, I started voice training on the 22nd of March last year, and that will have basically, it will wind up 1 year later. So what I have at the end of that is down to me. In this video I don't just want to talk about my HRT treatment as I have done previously, the effects and everything else. If you want to know that, it's all in my back history videos. Not a lot have changed. I'm not experiencing any different side effects to what I've already experienced. Physical changes continue to just be the ones I've already mentioned: fat redistribution, things like that, breast development, all of that stuff. I'm still a 38A, so not a lot's changed on that front. I keep hoping for more development, but without a change to my regime of estrogen and T blocker, then things are unlikely to change. It's all just plateaued for now. I haven't got my latest set of numbers as regards my hormone levels at the moment. It being Christmas, the surgery's closed, so nobody's picking up for test results and things like that, which I understand, so I wasn't able to get you those numbers today, but hopefully I will in an update video later this year. But the main thing I want to talk about is how my life has changed since coming out and going full time. I think it's important to say that my worst day now is still a lot better than nearly all the days I experienced previously. Life has just improved so much in just being able to be yourself, and even if other people don't always accept you the way you'd want, you can accept yourself, which is a real bonus, and it just makes it all worthwhile, just being able to, for the most part, just be able to look at yourself and say that you are doing what you want to do and that you are achieving what you want to achieve, albeit slowly, maybe not at the pace you want, maybe not to the exact standards you would like, but you're still further along than you ever were before, and a far closer representation of who you were meant to be than you otherwise would have been. So it's really important to say that that absolutely is the biggest bonus of all of this. However, day-to-day life, other than the extra time it takes me to get ready, it remains relatively uncomplicated. I get ready, I go about my daily business without too much fuss. I don't really get much grief off of people. I get misgendered, and depending on how frequent it is and if I know the individual and the circumstances, etc., I'll either take the time to educate them or not. You don't feel that you have to correct everyone you meet, because some people either do or don't want to know, and you don't have to waste your time with all of that. If there's somebody that you want to know, then obviously take the time to correct them and get them so that your interactions with them are better, because you're willing to invest the time in getting to know this person, you want to talk to them. There will always be people that feel that they have to express their opinions to you, whether you asked for them or not. There's nothing you can do about these people, and in a way you're expressing your opinion by being yourself. I mean, obviously don't stand for any physical or discrimination, but if somebody feels they want to show you how ignorant they are, then that's their choice. To that end, I suppose recently, in the last few weeks, I did have somebody come up to me and say, oh, you know, it was like the second thing out of their mouth. They asked me what I was at work, they asked me what the piece of equipment I was using was. I explained that to them, and the next question out of their mouth, or statement out of their mouth, was, oh, you have an Adam's apple, when are you going to stop pretending to be something you're not? Now, I was rather surprised by that, I would admit, and it probably bothered me more than it usually does. I get comments about being broad and other things like that quite often. I've even had them off of my own doctor, which wasn't appreciated, obviously, but I get that, and I know these flaws myself, but they are what they are, and you don't get to choose the shape that you started with. You only get to influence it afterwards. But the Adam's apple thing was a bit of a surprise, because I am broad and I have got quite a lot of mass. It's pretty much hidden. Even from a side profile, I've got quite a thick neck, so it's hidden. It's not something that's prominent on me. So to have him pull me up for that thing in particular, it was quite a surprise and something that I hadn't expected. And I think they're the ones that surprise you the most, to be honest. If it had been another comment about being broad-shouldered or something like that, I water off of a duck's back at this point. But when somebody comes out with something I suppose, original, or something that you feel or know isn't even true, to a certain degree. I mean, I do have an Adam's apple, there's no denying it, but it's not particularly prominent, it's not been an issue. So these people to just, or this person to just pull that one out of the bag, it really took me by surprise. Day to day though, things are offset more often by the good than the bad. I get a lot of comments about how well I'm doing, how much happier I seem, and things like that. So day to day life is much better, and I think that's what you all need to remember before you start your own transitions, is to remember that or try and figure out what your end goal is, whether you're doing it, what and why you're doing it, and then to achieve those goals. And if you are achieving those goals, or even if you're working towards them, then you're doing well enough, and it's nobody's business other than yours what's happening from there. So I just want to leave you with that, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.